So recently I was at my girlfriend's house and she introduced me to Abbott Elementary. I hopped in at a random episode she was at and noticed that, much like The Office, the characters often break the fourth wall and acknowledge the camera. When I started the show from the beginning at home, I realized that Abbott Elementary follows the same storytelling device as The Office, in which it is meant to be a comedy mockumentary, where the camera crew is acknowledged as a silent character and plays a certain role that serves as the comedic timing within the show. This is of course coupled with talking head interviews that also give assistance to the storytelling and flow of each episode. It got me thinking of the fourth wall and how breaking it affects the story as well as the audience. For those who don't know, the fourth wall is a performance convention in which an invisible, imaginary wall separates actors from the audience. While the audience can see through this wall, the convention assumes the actors act as if they cannot. A fourth wall break occurs when a performer acknowledges the presence of the audience, the camera, or any other observer.
Hi.
This is usually done by looking directly into the camera and or addressing the audience directly. Basically, characters will look at the camera like this. There are several ways in which breaking the fourth wall is done, and each of them have their own reasons for doing so and effects on the audience. In instances such as The Office or Abbott Elementary, their acknowledgement of the camera is not necessarily an acknowledgement of the audience, but rather addressing the established character behind the camera. Within the world of both of these shows, it is a mockumentary, in which they make clear that the camera they are addressing are characters within the show, and their presence is acknowledged as such. For example, in The Office, there is a few times when we see the people behind the camera come out in front of it and become part of the story. This is a form of breaking the fourth wall, as when we are watching it, the characters seem to be looking at us. However, they don't totally break the fourth wall as they set up the camera as an active object within their world, that they are aware of and is part of their life.
We are 5 months later because that's how long it takes for 3 people with art degrees to save up for new cameras.
However, the characters on screen are still meant to be themselves and not acknowledging their existence as actors, but rather as actual individuals in a documentary setting that just happens to be filled with comedic moments due to their interesting personalities. On the complete opposite end of the fourth wall spectrum, we see in several works that characters break the fourth wall in order to convey their awareness that their world is a production for outside entertainment. The best examples of this I've seen have been in different animated series. For example, in Chowder, they acknowledge this existence and use it as a comedic gag within the show.
Okay, that'll be $47.
Coming right up, my good man.
We're out of money! What? Rada? Do you know what this means, man? You're not getting your delivery of potatoes?
No, worse than that.
Your wife is gonna kill you when she finds out you spent all the money?
Even worse than that.
Even worse? I give up what?
No money means no animation.
What are we gonna do?
Rada.
No, we are not going home. We've got to save the show.
But where are we gonna get the money to pay for it?
As well as this, we see another example of this in The Amazing World of Gumball.
What's going on? I guess it's like what people say. Without money, you're nothing.
Yeah, literally.
What's wrong with your mouth?
I don't know. What's wrong with his face?
What are we gonna do?
In both of these instances, and any that do this, they often provide a commentary on the nature of production, whether that be the amount of money needed or the steps involved in order to create the entertainment, and are often just used as a comedic bit to joke about the cost and process of production of entertainment.
I gotta ask, when's the new season of Seance Dog coming out?
You mean the show? Probably not for another year. Sorry, animation takes a long time.
Oh, I can't imagine how much work it must be for those fight scenes.
Yeah, those take a while, but we cut corners in other places to make it manageable. You ever notice that sometimes whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you never see their lips moving?
Huh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, or we'll cut to the back of someone's head while they're talking for the same reason. Other times we'll do a wide shot and slowly pan across it. It looks like it's animated, but it's so far away, you don't notice. Nothing's moving. The best part is, because all these scenes have limited animation, we can make the drawings even better. But sometimes the artists get carried away and it kind of looks like a different show. It's crazy what you can get away with. Thanks for coming by.
No, thank you. I'm gonna watch season 2 way closer.
We can also see examples of this in relation to commentary about the show's writing or plot lines. For example, in Community, the characters, especially Abed, are very self-aware of the storyline arcs throughout their lives and often chooses to look at their world as if it is a show, because in reality it is.
We'll definitely be back next year. If not, it'll be because an asteroid has destroyed all human civilization. And that's canon.
What? What do you...
Throughout the show, there are tons of moments of commentary about the show's structure, its genre tropes, and even the fact that they are characters in a show altogether, adding layers of meta humor that for someone who enjoys films like me, very much enjoys. In other works, however, we see breaking the fourth wall as a sense of having an inner dialogue with oneself. For example, in the show Fleabag, which is such a great show, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. The main character, who is just named Fleabag, often looks at the camera and addresses the audience, commenting on the situation at hand with witty banter or overall thoughts. However, these moments aren't absent from the reality of the character's narrative, but are moments where she spaces out and has these inner monologues to herself. The next 10 to 15 seconds are going to be minor spoilers for the show, so if you haven't seen, just skip ahead 10-15 seconds. But anyways, I think that this device is due to the fact that her best friend is dead, and these inner thoughts are things that she would have said to her, and now she has to say them to herself instead, which is what causes her to space out and have these comedic dialogues. Okay, minor spoilers are over. But basically, we see how she spaces out and does these inner dialogues when one of the major characters in the show actually mentions noticing her doing it. He sees her looking off into space, something that no other character notices or cares to comment on when addressing her, and it makes an interesting and sweet moment where he shows he understands her and even does a quick fourth wall break himself.
He's a bit annoying, actually.
What is that?
What?
That thing that you're doing, it's like you disappear.
What?
What are you not telling me?
Nothing.
Tell me what's going on underneath
Nothing.
there. Tell me, come on,
No.
you can tell me.
Nothing.
Ah,
Nothing.
what are you doing?
No, stop being so churchy.
I'm not being churchy, I'm just trying to get to know you.
Well, I don't want that.
We can also see fourth wall breaks as a way to break tension. For example, within Deadpool, he frequently breaks the fourth wall, often in the midst of intense action scenes, in order to crack jokes or comment on the situation. This overall relieves a lot of the tension within the film, and makes the intense moments a lot more lighthearted, and it really helps support the story as Deadpool is largely a not serious and not intense character.
I share that home with someone you've met, the old blind lady from the laundromat, Al.
God, I miss cocaine.
Her. Fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls.
Ryan Reynolds, who plays Deadpool, even talks about himself in the film, as well as his past roles as Deadpool, and makes jokes towards Hugh Jackman's Wolverine character. You could tell they had a lot of fun writing this movie, especially when it comes to the fourth wall breaks, as it gives life to the movie and the character's overall personality. The movie would not be nearly as fun without these fourth wall breaking jokes. Fourth wall breaks, of course, are very helpful for a narrative insight as well. They can provide information for viewers into characters' thoughts, motivations, or emotions by directly addressing the audience. That's why things such as talking head interviews work so well, as they can literally take aside characters and give context for a scene coming up or emotions of people in a room. However, an interesting way of doing this is acknowledging the audience as not only a viewer of the show, but as someone in the show, there with the characters, but also not in the physical space like the camera crews in Abbott Elementary or The Office are. A good example of this is in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The main character, Ferris Bueller, frequently speaks directly to the audience, providing commentary and insights into his schemes and motivations. However, this addressing of the audience feels incredibly personal, almost as if we are a friend of Ferris, like everyone wants to be, and someone he has taken under his wing in order to show how he lives his life to the fullest every day. This type of breaking the fourth wall engages the audience more directly. In a sense, as you watch Ferris go on all his adventures, you feel like you're the fourth member of this group, and get a sense of wonder and appreciation for Ferris's wild life choices, just as all the other characters in the movie do, as they all admire Ferris.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Overall, the exploration of the fourth wall is such an interesting aspect of creating media, and adds a new level to these worlds people create, providing meta-commentary on the worlds characters are in, and providing an interesting new layer of understanding for viewers of said media. There are tons more moments of fourth wall breaks in film, so much so that I couldn't possibly fit them all into this video without it being hours long, but I'll show some clips here of very popular scenes that utilize fourth wall breaks to elicit different emotions and provide meaning for films.
I'll be home at 6 sharp. If you need anything, call.
They bought it.
Pardon me while I have a strange interlude. Are you a couple of baboons?
What are you looking at?
I believe we're paying to see something we get on TV for free. If you ask me, everybody in this theater is a giant sucker. Especially you!
How you ever got to teach a course in anything is totally amazing.
Boy, if life were only like this.
Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
I suggest you don't worry about this sort of thing and just enjoy yourself. That goes for you all, too.
Yes. I lost? Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to lose. Let me see the script.
Stop.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Well, what do you want to do now?
Come on, let's check out the end of the flick.
Yeah. Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending.
Yeah, so that was just a few I put together, but there are honestly so many more, and like I encourage you guys to look them up because there's a lot of really fun fourth wall breaks that do a lot of interesting things. Okay, I was gonna end the video here, but there's actually some cool stuff I want to talk about, which isn't necessarily about film, but is about fourth wall breaks in general. Fourth wall breaks can be seen even in comic books with characters such as Gwenpool. There's a lot of lore to Gwenpool, but in short, she is a character who is not only totally aware she is a character, but also that she is just in a comic book, and therefore she manipulates her world as such, while having fun and enjoying her meta-subverting state. We see her doing things like walking on the lines between comic boxes to get to another scene, or using the title on the book as something to hang on. With this understanding of the fourth wall, it gives her total control of her world, and really makes you think about how when characters are created, they in a sense come alive themselves. Not in our plane of existence in reality, but if you believe in other universes, then there's always that chance that just a smiley face on a piece of paper, once giving meaning as being something with life, becomes something greater and more alive. Honestly, thinking about this character working so well in a comic book setting, it got me thinking about how this could possibly work in a live action or TV series or a movie, and how that visual sense of breaking the fourth wall could be possible with something so subverting of what media is. And honestly, I don't think that it is possible with a character like this, and I think the only way that a character like this works, one that like truly breaks every aspect of the fourth wall, is on paper. The only thing that I could like really compare it to maybe is the usage of those like 4D cinemas where the audience can like feel the rain in the scenes or smell the things that the characters are smelling. And honestly, I just don't think that even nearly reaches enough and really gets to that point of breaking this fourth wall and making them part of it, or making this character a part of our real world. But I myself am getting too meta commentary about the fourth wall, so I'll call it here. If you guys enjoyed this video, I encourage you to leave a like and comment and subscribe to the channel. Any support is appreciated and helps me to be able to keep making videos like this in the future. I also may make a Patreon if this video does well, so I'm trying to save up for a new microphone because I honestly don't like my vocal sound on these videos. But at the moment, just interaction with the video is all the support I need. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram at ConsFilmStuff, where I post film pictures I've taken, music, and movies I've enjoyed recently. And yeah, have a good one.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.